Many women were also at the cross, looking on from a distance. They had followed Jesus from Galilee and had provided for him. Among them were Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of the sons of Zebedee. When it was evening, there came a rich man from Arimathea named Joseph, who was a disciple of Jesus. He went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Then Pilate ordered it to be given to him. So Joseph took the body and wrapped it in a clean linen cloth, and he laid it in his own tomb, which he had hewn in the rock. Then he rolled a great stone to the door of the tomb and went away. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary were there, sitting opposite the tomb. The next day, that is, after the day of preparation, the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered before Pilate and said, "Sir, we remember what that impostor said while he was still alive. After 3 days I will rise again. Therefore, command that the tomb be made secure until the 3rd day, otherwise his disciples may go and steal him away and tell the people he was raised from the dead. And the last deception would be worse than the first." Pilate said to them, "You have a guard of soldiers. Go, make it as secure as you can." So they went with the guard and made the tomb secure by sealing the stone. I wonder if you've ever been at a point of utter hopelessness and helplessness. A point where nothing earthly can save you or someone you love from the thing you've been dreading. Maybe you've encountered something a little like this through failing to meet grades or requirements for a job or a course of study. Maybe you've been made unexpectedly redundant. Maybe you've experienced the breakdown of a relationship. Or maybe you've been with a loved one when they've died before their time. I have a great deal of time for and sympathy with these women who are there at the cross and then they're observing the burial of Jesus' body. Their hopes have all died with Jesus, and they stand by helplessly. Soon they will have a role to play, bringing spices and oils to anoint Jesus' lifeless body, but for now they can only look on. The men seem to have jobs to do. Joseph gives his tomb. The men get Jesus' body released and laid to rest. The women look on, not able to do or offer anything. They witness and observe the death of Jesus. They witness and observe the death of hope as he is sealed in the tomb. There is nothing that can be done. And if you've experienced something like that, you'll know perhaps that simply witnessing, watching, waiting for death, and the confirmation that nothing more can be done is incredibly hard and can be incredibly painful and hard to bear. These verses, which recount to us the stories of the women watching as Jesus died and is buried, remind us that there are moments we face when all earthly hope is gone. Rather than turning from the reality of grief, sometimes the right thing to do is acknowledge and sit with it. Perhaps there are things you are grieving over today. Perhaps there are burdens of sorrow to bear which seem so heavy it might be easier to turn away from them. Perhaps you're walking with a loved one who is grieving. Perhaps you are thinking about and praying for the places and people devastated by violence or disaster in this world. Sometimes the best thing to do is to sit with the grief and bear witness to it. Sometimes we need to be the people who will sit with and acknowledge and watch while others busy themselves away from it all. But even as we sit, witness to despair and helplessness, even as those women sat, bereft, without hope, God is at work.